What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Today's topic is going to be about who is going to be the face of boxing. Who's the face of boxing right now? Obviously, it's Canelo Alvarez. He's been the face of boxing, the last 10 years. And, Canelo, he's getting older, man. He's been in a lot of brawls. The wear and tear of just boxing, weight cuts, the relentless training, just the constant fighting. That's one thing I will give Canelo his props for, being like the face of boxing these last decade. He fought pretty often, most like top tier guys who get a lot of money, they fight once a year, but Canelo most likely always fights like every 2 years, especially in his prime. I know after that Triple G fight, he took like a year break because that was a big fight. But the person I think that boxing is trying to make the face of boxing is Ryan Garcia. Now, do Ryan Garcia got the skills of a prime Canelo Alvarez or a prime Floyd Mayweather? No, not even close. Nothing close. I don't think Ryan is a generational boxer, but when he looked good in the ring, he looked good. He was a big prospect coming up. He sells fights, and we could say whatever about in the ring, but outside the ring plays a big part, because it's the business side of boxing. Yeah, we all want to see fights. It's so many fights we want to see, but that we'll never get to see because the business side of things. Because at the end of the day, it's about those two men fighting in the ring. You know what I mean? And one thing I can give Ryan credit for, he didn't fought some guys. He didn't fought Tank. That was his first loss. Tank is my favorite boxer ever, and I was a little scared. Obviously, I was a little younger, so I didn't know Ryan was weight draining that much. But I was scared because I knew how dangerous he was. But just the whole buildup of that fight was just big. And I'm gonna get more into Tank a little later, but Ryan, he taking these risks. He's taking these risks. He fought Tank, he lost. Fought Devin Haney, he beat him. If he was clean after that win, whole world in his hands. But he had, year suspension, got caught with the, PEDs. The boy was juiced up, y'all. He was juiced up. It is what it is. He took the year off, came back, fought Rolly, got dropped, didn't have no urgency to win the fight, even win some rounds, lost. And at that moment, it's just like, damn, bro, like, do you really want it? Like, you're not even, you know what I mean? But I'm like, all right. Because I wasn't that in tune with him, but he's still a big draw. So then he gets the Mario Barrios fight. They give them a world title, bro. He got gifted that world title, bro. We all know damn well Mario is old and washed up, bro. But just because how much and I bring this up to show you how much he sells, y'all. He sells a lot. He's a big draw, but I think this fight with Conor Benn is gonna be a big fight, and this shouldn't even really be. Conor Benn shouldn't be no champion mandatory at 147, but it happened. They've been talking. They set it up a big fight. Conor Benn has a big fan base, and that's something that getting older, that I have to realize and put in my head. These 4 boxing organizations, they care about money. They not no boxing fans. This is their job, bro. Them people who work at WBO, WBA, WBC, IBF, these are these people jobs. They gotta make the company money. So, man, these fights that we want and that could happen, it won't happen, because if it don't make sense business wise, then it don't make sense at all. So that's why I think that they're trying to push Ryan. But the only knock I got about that may not being true, he's too inconsistent in the ring. He too inconsistent. You fighting Rolly. I think that was a championship fight. I believe that was a championship fight. But if it wasn't, how did he get it? I think that was a championship fight. Even if it wasn't, a year out the ring after being suspended, bro, you gotta go make a statement, bro. And Rolly's not a pushover. He's a very awkward fighter, somebody to, that you really would have to scan out. And Ryan Garcia, I just feel like if he don't feel like he can knock you out in the ring, he's not finna be he not gonna outbox you. It's like he don't care. I can't explain it, bro. And maybe I don't know, because I think he's a good boxer. He's decent when he wants to be, bro. But he's just not consistent enough for me to put my hopes in this dude. I do think he gonna beat Conor Benn, but for him being the face of boxing, bro, I feel like outside the ring and entertainment-wise, the fan base, he checked all the boxes. He is a household name. He just became a world champion at 27 for the first time at 27. But he's been a household name since he was 21 years old because he sells tickets. So I think that's the number one option that I think that's probably gonna be the face of boxing, because they just gifted him that title. He finna fight Conor Benn. Come on, you give them that mandatory, like, I guess, even though Conor Benn haven't fought at 47 in years, they give them a big mandatory for a big fight. They just looking at him as a cash grab. But, cash, cash rules the world, man. And talk is cheap, so what do I know? But the second option I'm looking at, being the face of boxing, is Gervonta Tank Davis, man. Now, I am a little biased because Tank is my favorite fighter, but what I'm finna say is not gonna, no biasness, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be biased, I'm just be real. Tank, we know how much he sells. He sells tickets, just like Ryan Garcia. Outside the ring, superstar. Tank, he got his resume of fighters he fought is, I'm not gonna lie, even him being my favorite fighter, it's not all that great, but his pay-per-view is great because he sells tickets. He got a big fan base, especially, he got everything, bro. He got, he got the chains, he got the tats, he talks shit, you know what I mean? Excuse my language, but he talking that talk, you know what I mean? And he knocks people out. So it's just everything that you want to see in a boxing match. Because I promise you, bro, the main people who's buying these pay-per-views is not these boxing fanatics and people who's obsessed with boxing. No, it's the people who work 9 to 5, people who work and got a regular life and get drunk on the weekends and want to watch a good fight on a Saturday night. That's who make you rich. And people who want to go to the game in real life and pay it and get drunk and bet on the game. That's who make you rich. You know what I mean? Not the people who just love boxing. So he outside the ring, he does things great selling the fights. But outside the ring, being in court, being in jail, bro, that's what's holding him back. And he's missing his prime years. He just missed the whole year of boxing, a whole year, because of legal issues, bro. And it angers me because bro, we know how great Tank is, bro. It's so many fights that could be big. Him and Shakur, imagine what that would be at the 135, 140 level, bro. Like, it would be big for boxing. Tank versus anybody is big for boxing because people want to see a knockout. People want to see him, they want to see him work. But if you can't stay in the ring because of outside the ring stuff, then it just makes it hard for him being face of boxing. It's like he be a face of boxing right after a big win, and then the criticism 2 months later because he done something to get him arrested, bro. And it's just like, for that to be my favorite boxer ever, bro, it's just, it's kind of like, it's a little frustrating as a fan, bro, because I want to see him in the ring. I want to see him winning, bro. I want to see him out of trouble. you know, obviously in the ring, putting on great performances, but for him to be okay, you know what I mean? It's just it be so much, you know what I mean? But as a, like I said earlier in the video, bro, as a fan, we only see 10%. We only see if that, you know what I mean? You don't know what somebody been through. So that's why I don't really judge people too much outside the ring, you know. But I definitely wish he could just, you know, tighten up and you know, get in the ring, put on these great performances and just beat Tank. But, you know, hopefully he go come back 2027. You never know. He's still in his prime, I believe. You know, I'm not going to give up on my favorite boxer, but that's just the second option I'm looking at because he's already a solidified superstar. He just got to stay in the ring and stay out of trouble. But my third and last option, I think, would be the face of boxing. And people, I want y'all to hear me out on this one. But the third option is Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I just became a fan of Boots this year. I'm not gonna lie, and he's already my third favorite boxer. And I really fell in love with boxing this year. But I've been watching boxing. I've been loving boxing my whole life. But this year was just like I've just been obsessed with it. That's why I just love making this content for y'all. But Boots, the reason I say Boots is number one, the Terrence Crawford, like the switch stance. That people who watch Boots fight, it's just like, damn, the way he fights is just like he straight offense. He's getting bigger now. He got 2 belts at 154. It's like I can see him if he can get a 3rd belt and create an undisputed match at 154. And y'all know undisputed match is basically, especially if they both in a prime, is a guaranteed two fight deal. You know what I mean? 2 fights, especially if they both got a belt. I feel like Boots, he just had his like real coming out party. I would say, like, we all knew who he was, but for him to move up, he fought one dude at 154, but then for him to, beat Xander Zayas, it was a good win. But the reason I say Boots, and I know y'all like, how he gonna be the face of, well, I don't care what nobody think. I'm saying, I know I hear people say that. Let me say that, because not that I care what anybody say. I hear people saying that on social media, not to me, but they say, oh, he just had his first big fight. He ain't fought nobody. That's the same thing they say about Tank. But the reason I say Boots can become the face of boxing, y'all, because look at the criticism he got versus beating a 2-belt champion, Xander Zayas. Oh, he was supposed to do that. Everybody talk about that round 3. I watched it live, okay? In the moment, it looked like he was hurt. It did. Everybody, you sitting on the edge of your seat. The adrenaline already up. Xander already didn't got dropped. So his head like scooted back. He was like leaned on the ropes. But then he came back with 2 counters. Sharp counters. So, but people blew the whole win out of proportion. The only thing people talked about from that win, not that him being a 2 division undisputed, I mean, I'm talking crazy. A 2 division unified champion. No, the only thing people could say, Boots got hurt. He need to fight Virgil Ortiz. He need to fight Virgil. A 30-year-old prospect with no belts. Y'all want him to fight him. That's not gonna happen. But the reason I say that he can become that, because all publicity, y'all know the saying, all publicity is not good publicity, but in boxing, shit, if you ain't if it ain't got nothing to do with no courthouse, yes it is. It's all, so it's just all them haters. Why y'all think Floyd was on the top for so long? Because everybody want to see him lose. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, if he can become, I think he will become undisputed in 2027. And all them people that want to see him lose, the whole Puerto Rican fan base was just mad seeing him fight. So they go tune in for his next fight. The Mexican fans from Virgil Ortiz, they go tune in because they like, oh, they want to see him lose. He didn't give my boy Virgil opportunity. I'm telling you, I think Boots is, if the first two options don't work, he's going to become the face of boxing. And by the end of 2027, he will be in the top 5 pound for pound. Mark my words, bro. But I don't know, man. I want to come here and give y'all this topic, bro. I want to continue to do these longer videos because me as a fan, bro, a boxing fan, I'll be looking at some boxing videos and I see dudes talking. And the video don't be that long. I don't know if I'm just a nerd of this stuff, but I want to see longer videos, longer topics, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely going to keep giving y'all content, man. I appreciate the support. I'm definitely going to come back tomorrow and give another video. I love y'all, man. Cam Trench out. Stay prayed up. Peace.